بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. Welcome back, dear brothers and sisters. This is our walkthrough for resource number 32 from the activities available in our Ajur Rumiya workbooks. On page number 139, you find this resource, which is a follow-up to our 32nd lesson of the book. So if you've studied that 32nd lesson, understood it, and then attempted this quiz by yourself, and then checked your answers in the answer key, this walkthrough might provide some additional benefit. And we ask Allah Ta'ala for success. Resource 32, أسئلة مراجعة من الدرس الثاني والثلاثين. Review questions for lesson number 32. السؤال الأول. The first question. قال الإمام ابن آجر رحمه الله. The Imam ibn Ajur stated, and this is that direct question. This is a quote from the actual text of Al-Ajur Rumiyya. باب الأفعال الأفعال ثلاثة. The chapter on verbs, and verbs are three, meaning three types. What are they? A. ماض ومضارع ومستقبل. B. مرفوع ومنصوب ومجزوم. C. معرب ومبني وجامد. Or D. ماض ومضارع وأمر. And of course, this final answer choice, D, is the correct answer, as found on page 46, lesson 32, three basic verb tenses. باب الأفعال الأفعال ثلاثة ماض ومضارع وأمر. That's the exact wording of the author in his text. السؤال الثاني, the second question. ما هو الفعل الماضي? What is a فعل ماضي, a past tense verb? A. كلمة دالة على حصول شيء في أحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. A word that indicates an event or something happening in one of the three time periods. B. كلمة دالة على حصول شيء في الحال والاستقبال. Like answer choice A, word that indicates something happening in the present or future tense. C. كلمة دالة على معنى في نفسه بدون ارتباط بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. A word that has a meaning in and of itself without any connection to any of the three time periods. Or D. كلمة دالة على حصول شيء قبل زمن التكلم. A word that indicates something happening before the time of the speech. And so, as you know, that is the correct definition of al-fi'l al-madi, the past tense verb. That's what it means. It's a verb, an action essentially, or a non-action that took place before one speaks about it. As for answer choice A, that is a broad definition of a fi'l, of a verb, because it could be in any of the three time periods. That means it could be madi or mudari or amr. As for answer choice B, then that's a definition of al-fi'l al-mudari'u, the present tense verb. That's what takes place now or in the future. And answer choice C is the definition of a noun, actually, that has a meaning in and of itself and no connection to any time period. That's like al-kitab. The word al-kitab, the book, indicates a meaning. You have an idea what the kitab is, but you have no reference to time there. That's what a noun is, essentially. Then the correct answer choice is, again, D. السؤال الثالث, the third question. ما هو الفعل المضارع? Well, this should be easy. What is a present tense verb? It was necessarily included in the explanation of the last question and its answers. So let's take a look at these answers. A. كلمة دالة على معنى في نفسه لا ارتباط له بأحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. A word that does have a meaning in and of itself, without any connection to any of the 3 time periods. Again, just like the last question, that's a noun. B. كلمة دالة على حصول شيء في الحال أو الاستقبال. A word that indicates an action happening or something taking place presently or in the future. That's what we said was actually the definition of a fi'l mudari'. So that is our correct answer. C. كلمة دالة على حصول شيء في أحد الأزمنة الثلاثة. A word that indicates something happening in any of the 3 time periods. And as we explained in the last question, that's the past tense verb. That's al-fi'l al-madi. And then D, كلمة دالة على حصول شيء وهي مبنية دائما. A word that indicates an event or something happening, and it's always mabni. Well, that would be the madi or the amr, and definitely not the mudari'. So then the correct answer choice is B. السؤال الرابع, the 4th question, ما هو فعل الأمر? What is the imperative verb or the command verb? A. طلب شيء قبل زمن التكلم. To request something to happen before the time of the speech. B. كلمة يطلب بها حصول شيء قبل زمن التكلم. A word, by way of it, an action is requested before the time of that speech. C. كلمة يطلب بها حصول شيء بعد زمن التكلم. A word that indicates a request for something to be done after the speech has been conveyed. Or D. كلمة دالة على الوجوب أو الاستحباب. A word that indicates an obligation or a recommendation. Those words, wujub and istihbab, are fiqh words. And so that might be the fi'lu amr in an usuli discussion or a fiqhi discussion, but not in Arabic language. So while D is correct in another science, that's not where we are here today. So as for answer choice A, to request something before the time of the speech, or answer choice B, to request something essentially the same meaning, just worded differently, then those are nonsensical. How can you request something to be done before the request even reached the person? And that's only used in speech as a non-literal exaggeration of how important something is to be done in the future. Like when the supervisor says to his employee, I need that done yesterday, or I need that done 5 minutes ago. That means hurry up now, do it in the future, but do it within the next few minutes because it's extremely urgent. It is not actually intended, and it's not possible to do something in the past after you have now been commanded to do it. So the correct answer then is answer choice C. كلمة يطلب بها حصول شيء بعد زمن التكلم. A word used to request an action being done after the time of that speech. السؤال الخامس. ما الصحيح في إعراب الأفعال وبنائها? What is correct about whether verbs are mu'rab or mabni? إعراب الأفعال, that means they are mu'rab, and بناء الأفعال means they are مبنية. A. الماضي والأمر مبنيان والمضارع معرب. Past tense verbs and imperatives or commands are both mabni, while the present tense verb is mu'rab. B. الماضي معرب والأمر والمضارع مبنيان. That the past tense is the one which is mu'rab and the other two are mabni. C. كل الأفعال معربة. All verbs are mu'rab. And D. كل الأفعال مبنية. All verbs are fixed, mabni, and not mu'rab. Okay, so in the class, we've taught that answer choice A is what is correct. Al-madi wal-amru mabniyani. And there's some differing over al-amr amongst the grammarians. However, what we are teaching in our class is that we dismiss fi'l madin. we dismiss the past tense verb as mabni, and we dismiss al-amr as mabni ala ma yujzamu bihi mudari'uhu, as has been discussed. And then it is the mudari' verb, the present tense verb, which is the focus of our i'rab discussions for this book. And that is whether it's marfu', mansub, or majzum, and why. And so everything coming up is about that issue, the mudari' verb. That means answer choice A is the correct answer. السؤال السادس, the sixth question. اصرف الفعل الماضي ذهب الصرف الكبيرة والصرف الصغيرة. Do the sarf. This is actually not nahu. This is not grammar. This is sarf, but it's kind of connected and necessary for us. Do the lengthy sarf for the verb ذهب, the past tense verb ذهب, and then do the short version, what's called الصرف الصغير, the 3-word version. So the way it works is, you've been given the first 3 examples. ذهبت, ذهبنا. So for myself, I went. ذهبنا, for us, we went. ذهبت, أنت, you went. ذهبت. Now we need أنتِ. Speak to a female. You say ذهبتِ. And then speak to 2 males. ذهبتما. And then speak to 2 females. The same word. ذهبتما. You've gone, you've went. ذهبتم is used for a group of men. ذهبتن, with a nun mushaddada at the end, is used to speak to a group of females. These are the words you're writing on the lines, one after the next. So that's the first line. You have, in the blanks there, ذهبتِ, ذهبتما, ذهبتما, ذهبتم, and ذهبتن. Then in the second line there, you have 6 more verbs. ذهب for huwa, بالغيب, he went. And then for her, we say ذهبت. And then for the 2 of them who are men, ذهبا. And for those 2 ladies, ذهبتا. And for that group of men, we say ذهبوا. And for that group of women, we say ذهبنا. And so all of that is الصرف الكبير for ذهب in the ماضي form as a past tense verb. ذهبت, ذهبنا. ذهبت, ذهبتِ, ذهبتما, ذهبتما, ذهبتم, ذهبتن. ذهب, ذهبت, ذهبا, ذهبتا, ذهبوا, ذهبنا. That's called a sarf al-kabir. What about a sarf al-saghir? That's the madi, mudari, and masdar, remember? We say ذهب, يذهب, ذهابا. ذهب, that's the first one. يذهب, the second one. And ذهابا, that's the third one. The third one is actually a noun. السؤال السابع, the 7th question. It's similar to the 6th question, except we're going to do that for a mudari', a present tense verb. اصرف الفعل المضارع يشرب الصرف الكبير والصرف الصغير. Do the sarf for this verb, يشرب, the long version and the short version. So الصرف الكبير, the long version is أشرب نشرب. I drink, we drink. تشرب أنت, you drink. Speak to a female. تشربين. Speak to 2 men. تشربان. Speak to 2 females. تشربان, the same. Speak to a group of men, 3 or more. تشربون. Speak to a group of females, 3 or more. تشربن. That's the first line. You should have written تشربين, تشربان, تشربان, تشربون, and تشربن. Then the second line for huwa and hiya بالغيب يشرب, تشرب, يشربان, تشربان, يشربون, يشربن. So again, all of the answers you would have filled in there. الصرف الكبير أشرب نشرب تشرب تشربين تشربان تشربان تشربون تشربن يشرب تشرب يشربان تشربان يشربون and يشربن. والصرف الصغير, and the short form of that sarf is شرب يشرب شربا. شرب past tense, يشرب present tense, and شرب مصدر شربا. And that completes our review of resource 32. I hope you did really well. May Allah Ta'ala bless you and grant you success. Now it's time to get ready for lesson number 33, Insha'Allah Ta'ala. And we beg Allah Ta'ala and we beseech Him. He is Al-Mannan Al-Wahhab, the ever bestowing of all favors and blessings, that He grant us an understanding of the language of His majestic book, and may He forgive us and have mercy on us and all of the believing men and women. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين.